Elizabeth, I think the Secretary General said it very well there when he said fuel, food and finance, the critical elements here. And we've started to see some societies fracture under the pressure that they're bearing. We could see a lot worse.
No, absolutely. And we've already been talking about it a bit this morning. So first is just the impact on the world's supply of food, fuel, and fertilizers, because so much comes from a combination of Russia and Ukraine. But a lot of it has been the impact on prices, right? Which has had that additional blow to countries that are already suffering, communities that are already suffering. You've seen, you think about countries especially that are so import dependent. Take a country like Yemen. 90% of the food in Yemen is imported. So we've seen a laser-like new attention to that problem of import dependence, and real efforts, though, to try to deal with it, even in the context of a war that, as Ian said earlier, is nowhere near stopping. So something like the Black Sea grain deal that the UN brokered patiently, carefully, has had already a really important impact. So that, first of all, you're starting to see exports of some food goods that are close to pre-war levels, and you're definitely seeing a dampening of the price escalation, which has been really helpful. The UN itself created something called the Global Crisis Response Group, which has brought together all parts of the UN system who have a stake in helping people and communities around the world in the face of this crisis. It also includes the private sector, importantly, because they've been absolutely critical in trying to help get goods out, help the private sector survive under these very difficult circumstances. And so it takes everybody working together around a crisis of these proportions. But I also want to pick up on one additional point, which is the relationship between the short term and the long term. So if you looked yesterday, there was a food security summit, right, that the US, the African Union, and the EU convened together with a number of other countries. If you look at the roadmap that they produced, some of it's about the immediate emergency, and there is famine on the doorstep, and that needs urgent attention, but it's also about laying the foundation for a much more resilient, equitable food system. So it's about sustainable agriculture. Right. It's for lessening import dependence. So it's a powerful agenda, and one that we really, I think, saw birthed here in an important way.